So, today we have a special guest here, a polyglot who speaks 6 languages with a great accent and also with a great level, except for Russian, right? Because it's the one you started most recently?
Yeah, I would say Russian and French, they are not my,
Most,
the best.
Like English?
Yeah.
Let's have him introduce himself, talk about how this all started, because I'm also curious, and also speak a little bit in all the languages that he speaks, because, well, we all want to know, we want to see if he really speaks those languages. I've seen him speak them, but you guys haven't, so let's have him do that.
All right, then. So my name is Kauã Fernandez. I'm from the countryside of Ceará. I started to learn languages when I was like 14 years old. I would say it was because of the accent. Like, there was I have this flash in my memory, like of being on YouTube, and then I was like, I watched the video and I was like, yo, I have to learn that language. And then I started with English. Spanish, I started with Spanish after a while, and then comes Italian and French and all of those languages. All of the languages I know, I have a reason for speaking those languages. Like English, it's because of the accent. Spanish is because I was learning English in a Discord server for English and Spanish speakers to, interact between themselves. Italian is because I have a cousin from Italy, and I started to speak Italian because I was like, yo, I want to speak with him the same way I can speak with him in Portuguese. And then I met a friend of mine called Luca. French is more of it's a pretty language, I would say. And Russian, it's because, well, I'm all this way here, so like, let's try it, Entonces, voy a hablar un poco de español. El español hace unos años que ya he empezado a aprender, como unos 7 años, no sé. El inglés yo diría que unos 8, 9, el español pues 7. Y yo he empezado por eso, ¿no? Porque tenía muchos argentinos, gente de Latinoamérica en un servidor de español, y yo estaba en plan, yo estoy hablando aquí solo en inglés, no puedo interactuar con la gente che habla in espagnolo, voy a aprendere.
Bueno.
L'italiano ho cominciato a imparare perché ho un cugino, adesso ci sono 2 cugini italiani, e anche ho conosciuto Luca, che è questo mio amico italiano che era un mio vicino, adesso sta vivendo a Fortaleza per fare la uni, no? di storia e tutto quanto. En français, mon français ce ne va pas très bien. Moi, je pense l'accent, oui, peut-être. Mais le français, pourquoi je n'ai pas une raison pour continuer à apprendre le français, je ne parle pas avec les gens, et donc c'est ça la raison pourquoi je n'ai une raison pour apprendre le français. Я говорю по-русски, я не говорю по-русски очень хорошо, потому что я не знаю. Русский это очень хорошо язык, это не очень сложно. Да.
All right. Tell me now, how do you start off those languages?
I would say, like, nowadays, as an English teacher too, shadowing a little bit of grammar, knowing your reason why you want to learn that language. Those 3 factors are going to motivate you along the way.
The method that you start doing is basically shadowing. And that is a routine that you follow for how long exactly? Until you, for example, what do you do to get to the intermediate level, like at the beginning stage of your language learning?
I try to expose myself as much as possible. I guess I even tell this to my students, exposing yourself to the language, although you don't know the languages. Every day you commit to the language, you expose yourself, you talk, you try to force yourself to talk with people, to talk with yourself too. Sometimes I catch myself, I don't know, watching a video on YouTube or like a series, and then out of nowhere, I start to think in English, and that's natural nowadays. So
Me too.
I wouldn't
I
say, yeah, you understand. I wouldn't say getting to the intermediate level is not the most difficult thing. I would say getting to the advanced level from the intermediate, like from B2 to C1, is more of a challenge.
It's hard to see you making progress as well, because when you know nothing, it's really easy to make progress. Anything that you learn will count. But like when you get to this level, like this intermediate level, or maybe B2, as you said, it's much harder. Like you've got to learn a lot of vocab, words that you've never seen, difficult words, and in order to get better, you know. Okay, what strategy would you say is awful and ineffective to learn a language?
Only learning grammar. As an English teacher, I told you I am graduating on Letras em Inglês. I'm in my third internship now, and also I had the opportunity to teach in a school in the other city. The only thing that the school, like education-wise, passes to the student is grammar. They put a lot of emphasis in grammar, so I would say this is a no-no.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The way you have to go, it's to expose yourself to things you like.
Okay, so no grammar, y'all. No focus on grammar.
You don't focus on grammar. You have to study grammar, but
you have
not
to study
that much.
grammar. Yeah, let me rephrase that. You have to study grammar, okay, but you cannot let that be the only resource or the only thing that you do. Okay, that's
exactly
awful. Now, this is the question that I'm most curious about, to be honest. How do you maintain?
That's a complicated one. Well, as we said before, life is not a straight line, so we have ups and downs. I don't maintain all of those languages every week or every day. Every once in a while, I try to listen to them. I try to speak them out loud. Exactly. So we are humans. Like maybe you guys that are watching us right now have this image of, oh, they are polyglots. They know the secret of the. No, we are humans, man. So we have our ups and downs, and it's the same thing with Russian. I want to share this with you guys that are watching right now. In Russian, for example, I've gave up Russian like 3 times, and then came back, and then. You know, because it's such a difficult language, and my life was making me have no time. You know,
wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Yeah,
I didn't know that. Was it hard for you to get back?
I mean, not that much.
Like they say that if you kind of give up, it is harder to get back. Is that, you know?
No, I wouldn't say it is, because it's almost the same thing that we are talking about, how you maintain a language. Because if you stay like months without listening to nothing, you still are going to have the paths in your brain. So, for example, today I was listening to Russian. Some days ago I was listening to Russian. I'm trying to at least listen to it, like to force myself, because it's an awesome language. Это очень красивый язык, you know.
What does that mean? It's an awesome language?
It's a beautiful language.
Okay, all right.
It's a very beautiful language.
It is.
And it also makes you a different person. Like, I guess you're fascinated by the languages I speak as much as I'm fascinated by the languages you speak. I remember we met, like, I watched the video of her, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna talk to that girl because she talks a lot of languages. And she was also fascinated by that. You know,
I am.
You different. I know people have their like for some people it's more difficult.
Yeah.
I was awful at mathematics, physics, chemistry, but in languages, man,
comes
I
natural.
love that.
It comes natural.
Exactly.
By the way, do you think this is a talent? Do you think that this can be a talent, or how do you see it?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
It depends of the way you are trying to say talent. Because
Okay.
some people come at me and they say, "Oh, man, you have this gift for learning languages," and they don't see the effort I put
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I put a lot of effort into this, and so I would
Agreed.
say yeah, but not that much because some people have difficult in some subjects, but. I guess yes. Nowadays, yes. I used to be very upset with people saying, "You have this gift, man. I cannot get." But
Like,
nowadays, yes.
I
A
think
little
that,
bit.
I think that by gift, I mean, for example, I say you have a gift for language learning. I say that,
Mm-hmm.
and I stand by it, because I see this as a way that people gets it easier than somebody else. Not everybody has this.
Exactly.
I don't know how to explain this. Like this, it's easier for them.
Freud explica. Like
Exactly.
Freud talks about it actually. You try to diminish the things that other people have and you don't have, and you try to say, "Oh, it was luck. It was not effort. It is a gift," like this.
But I don't mean by any means that you didn't put into effort, because I know exactly what you're talking about when you say
I know
get
what you
upset,
mean.
right?
I know your intentions. I know you're not trying
Like-
to say that.
Because I know how much effort you had to put into that, especially for Russian, especially for gaining, for achieving that good accent that you have. It's not easy.
I don't know what happens, but I really got the intonations. Some people
Exactly.
have it's. I noticed that people that have a easy time learning languages, they also have an easy time with music. You know, so
Bro, that's true. That's
It
true.
is, it is. And like I've seen people talking about how Chinese speakers, they can reach to certain beats or with easier than other people because their language is tonal, like like
yeah,
you know.
exactly.
So I
like,
would say yeah.
Yeah, like Gabriel Weiner talks about this in his book. Like he is an opera, how do you say that, singer, and he does have an excellent accent exactly because he sings. So in order for you to be a great singer, you have to know how to do all the tones, and also the words have to be pronounced correctly, very well pronounced. So definitely music and language learning are two things that combined together, it can a great result can come out of that. Okay, now, you have a great accent. I've said that before. What is your secret for that? Do you have a secret for that? Or am I right and you have a gift?
Okay, let me think. So, yeah, drink water. I was gonna say this.
Thank you. You too.
I am.
right.
So for having a good accent, you have to listen. I would say you have to listen to people and also try to do the shadowing. Some sounds are going to be very difficult, and we cannot forget that we have neuroplasticity. So for a person who is like 14 years old is easier than for a person who is like 23, as I am right now.
So the secret is listening, everybody, but listening carefully. Not listening like doing something right while you're listening. Not that kind of listening, okay? Just active
Passively,
listening.
I would say.
Yeah.
You have to pronounce things. Like sometimes people are like, "Oh, I want to learn English, but I don't want to study." Like how?
Like
Come
nowadays,
on.
it's so popular, it's so mainstream. Like on YouTube, you go and you see like how to learn English without studying. Tell me, I'm curious.
No.
I don't
How
know.
to learn English sleeping.
How to learn.
There's a guy in Brazil who learned like Japanese and whatever Mandarin and English is lipping. I don't know, like out of nowhere. There's a thing like that on the TV channels. So I've seen that.
That's
True,
not
by the way.
true. That's not
Not
true.
at all.
Not at all. Especially for Chinese and Japanese. How are you going to learn those difficult languages without studying, without seeing grammar, without bundinha na cadeira? There's no way. Also, let me just mention that you said that it is easier because of neuroplasticity. Difficult word. You said that it's difficult for people who are older and easier for people who are younger, which is true. I agree with you. But do you think that adults can also maybe have more of an easy time learning languages than children? What do you think about that? Because that is also a thing.
No, I don't believe that
You don't?
adults are going to have an easier time learning languages because of neuroplasticity.
Okay.
Like, if you talk with the kid, for example, autism. I had a student when I was in the public school that was an autist.
Okay.
And his father told me that he was speaking English, even without them speaking English. And I was like, okay, it's because he was exposing himself. And like when you are a child, it's easier. Sometimes I say that there is a person inside of you, a different person. Like when I eat pizza and I am like the person by my side is using like a fork and knife, I'm like, Madonna, ma quello che fai non va. In Italia non mangiamo così. Yeah, the Italian person comes out. It's like other people are living in you, and when you speak that language, that person is emerging. Because like in English, I'm more of a serious person. In Spanish, I'm like
Open.
you know. Tía, he visto muchas bromas telefónicas, ¿sabes?
By the way, let me just say, guys, that his Spanish, I mean, I am impressed because for me, he is a Spanish guy. I think you were like, something happened. You came to Brazil, but you were born in Spain.
Ciudadano de España.
And I think that's one of the most awesome parts about learning languages, guys. You will get to know another version of yourselves. And also, I want to know now, for us to wrap this up, if you had to give only one advice to us who are in the same journey as you. Some of us are a little back, you are a little more advanced because you learned 6 languages. What would you say? Like, what would it be if you had to say something, anything?
That's an important thing. Let me think a little bit. Know where you want to get with the language you are learning.
All right, that's a good one.
When you don't know where you want to arrive, you don't have the feel, you don't have the will to continue practicing that. And that also goes to life. Like if you are living every day and you don't have a goal, you don't know where you're going.
You're lost.
So I would say that you're lost. Yeah.
Bro, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You can see that I study a little bit of philosophy there.
Yeah, you guys can see that he's also all the time talking about something very profound because he likes philosophy. Now, I guess we've come to this. I loved this. Okay, I loved your answers. Thank you so much for accepting the invite. It was awesome to talk to you. Now, can you say which are your social media to people, for people to follow you? Because it definitely is worth it, as you guys can see.
You too. I was impressed by your English and not in the other languages you speak, and also the way you make the videos, which inspired me to make some videos too.
Thank you.
My main social media, it's my YouTube channel, the English domain. And the other social media I have, it's also the English domain 10. All
right, now we can say goodbye to our fellows, and we'll see you in the next video.
Ciao, I have to go now.
Don't desliga ainda. Calma aí.
No.